Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We got game 2 of this Detroit Tigers Baltimore Orioles series in the 1961 pre-Apba bats season. Let's take a look here at the visiting Tigers starting lineup. Leading off playing center field, Ty Cobb. Batting second, playing left field, Harry Hellman. Batting third, playing right field, Al Kaline. Batting fourth, playing first base, Hank Greenberg. Batting fifth, playing second base, Charlie Gehringer. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, Harvey Kuhn. Batting seventh, playing third base, Ray Boone. Batting eighth, doing the catching, Johnny Blasser. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is Hooks DAUSS. And now for the starting lineup for the hometown Baltimore Orioles. Leading off playing center field, Baby Doll Jacobson. Batting second, playing right field, Harry Rice. Batting third, playing first base, George Sisler. Batting fourth, playing left field, Ken Williams. Batting fifth, playing third base, Harlan Clift. Batting sixth, doing the catching, Rick Farrell. Batting seventh and playing second base, Marty McManus. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, Bobby Wallace. And batting ninth on the mound is Harry Howell. Let's get down here to the stadium in Baltimore and get this game underway. And Cobb steps up to the plate to lead things off here for the Tigers, batting .316, no homers and 2 RBIs. And this is Howell's second appearance of the year. He's 0-1. He's pitched 6 innings, got a 6 ERA. Here's the pitch to Cobb. And that's going to be against righty 20. That's going to be a fly ball in the left field. That'll be out number 1 for the Tigers. That brings up Hellman now. Nobody on and 1 out. And Hellman's batting .250, no homers and 1 RBI. And that's another fly ball out the left. Ken Williams is busy so far today. 2 fly balls to left, 2 outs. That brings up Al Kaline now. Kaline is batting .267 with a homer and 4 RBIs. And that's another fly ball. This one, though, is out the right field. 3 fly balls, 3 outs. We get to the bottom of the first. We got Jacobs, Rice, and Sisler due up. Baby Joel Jacobson's batting .381, 1 homer and 4 RBIs, and he'll be going up again Hooks DAUSS. And this is DAUSS's 1915 season where he pitched in 46 games, started 35, was 24 and 13 with a 2.5 ERA. Here's the pitch to Baby Doll, and that's going to be a base on balls. He walks on down the first. So Jacobson down at first with nobody out. The Orioles got the go-ahead run on base, and Harry Rice is up batting .429, folks. A homer and 5 RBI. And that's going to be against a righty 16. That's going to be a ground ball down the third. And a 35 for Boone. I'll be fielding column number 2. And will that get the runner over to second? Nope, he'll go to short way down the second. And that'll be out number 1. So now Rice is down at first for George Sisler. And Sisler is batting .261 on the year, no homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Cobb makes the catch for out number 2. And that brings up Ken Williams now. And Williams is batting .389. He's got a homer and 5 RBIs. And that'll be a ground ball down to Charlie at second. He'll fire over to first. That'll end the inning, folks. Orioles strand 1. We go to the second. Still no score. We got Greenberg, Gehringer, and Coon due up here. Hank is batting .267. He's got no homers and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Howell. Makes a fine play. Fires over to George for out number 1. And that brings up Charlie Gehringer now. Charlie's batting .231. No homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. 2 up and 2 down here for the Tigers. Can Boone get aboard here with 2 outs, folks? And wait a second. Got Harvey batting in front of Kuhn. Is that right? Yeah, didn't want that, but oh well. Harvey's up to bat. Sorry about that. And Harvey's batting .294 on the year with no homers and no RBIs. And that'll be another ground ball back to the mound and another out. And the Tigers go down in order. We go to the bottom of the second now. We got Cliff, Farrell, and McManus due up here. Cliff's batting $111, no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Charlie at second. He fires over to first for out number 1. Rick Farrell up now. And Rick batting .375, no homers and 3 RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. 2 up and 2 down now for the Orioles. So it's up to McManus to get something started here with 2 outs. Batting a .261, no homers and 5 RBI. And that's a swing and a miss. He strikes Marty out, his first strikeout of the game for DAUSS. And to the top of the third we go. We got the bottom part of the order due up. Boone, Blasser, and DAUSS. Ray's batting $188 with a homer and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be against the 21. That'll be another comebacker. No, that'll be hit down the third. So Cliff's up with it, fires over to first. Johnny Blasser's up now. And Johnny's batting an even 100 with no homers and no RBIs. And that'll be a fly ball in the center field. 2 up and 2 down. So it's up to DAUSS to get something going here. This is his first plate appearance of the year. And in 1915, he batted .146, no homers and 6 RBIs. And that's a ground ball down to McManus. And that'll do it. Tigers go down 1, 2, 3. To the bottom of the third we go. And the bottom part of the order due up here. Wallace, Howe, and then back to Jacobson. Bobby's batting .263, no homers and 1 RBI. And that ball is going to be hit down the short. That's going to be an E6 on Harvey. So the leadoff batter gets aboard here with an error. And Hal's going to try to bunt him down the second. He's 0 for 2 on the year. Here he is. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be strike 2. He misses 2 attempts to bunt. He's going to try to lay it down again. And a 27 and 42 on a 4. That'll be fielding columns. And he fouls that one off, folks. They strike Howell out. He's unable to get the bunt down. So that'll send us to the top of the order now with 1 out. Wallace still at first. And baby doll Jacobson's up. He walked his first time up. And that's a nice play down at second by Charlie. 65. He's going to get the runner out at first as he gets to that ball. Fires over to first. That will get the go-ahead run in scoring position for Rice, but now there's 2 outs. And Rice is 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice. And that's going to be a base on balls. So now we got first and second here. DAUSS in a little bit of a pickle. And up to the bat steps George Sisler here. George is 0 for 1, flew out to center field his first time up. And that'll be a 17. That'll be a fly ball in the center field. Cobb makes a nice play to end the inning. The Orioles strand two. Top of the fourth we go, still no score. You got Cobb, who just made that nice play leading off, and then Hellman and K-line. Cobb flew out the left the first time up, and that'll be a pop-up down the short, I believe. Yep, and that'll be out number 1. Harry Hellman up now. Can he get something going with 1 out here? He flew out the left his first time up as we drop a dice. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. 2 up and 2 down. Now K-line's up now. And K-line flew out the right his first time up. And that'll be a ground ball down to George Sisler. 1, 2, 3 goes to Tigers again. And to the bottom of the fourth we go. We got Williams, Cliff, and Farrell. Williams is 0 for 1, grounded out the second. And that'll be a base on balls. Ken gets down the first. Again, the Orioles got the go-ahead run on the bases. And Cliff's up now. Cliff is 0 for 1, grounded out the second his first time up. And that's going to be a pop-up down the third. And Boone calls for it out in shallow left field. Makes the catch for out number 1. Rick Farrell up now. Can Rick do some damage here with 1 out? Flew out the right field his first time up. And that ball is well hit by Rick. Squares it up. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. And with 1 out, Williams with excellent speed down there. But now K-line does have a gun. So 45 or lower, Ken Williams will score. And K-line throws him out at the plate, folks. So that's a double 5 Farrell. And he throws Williams out at the plate. Now there's 2 outs. Farrell in scoring position for McManus here. Nice play by Al K-line. Keep this a scoreless tie. Marty McManus is up now. He struck out his first time up. Not this time. He's going to untie this ball game. Squares it up. How big was throwing him out at the plate now? That ball is high. That ball is far. How far is it going to go is the question, folks. And not far enough. That is off the top of the wall. And that'll be a double. In the left field. That'll score 1. Just couldn't quite square it up. But Farrell comes in to score, and it's 1-0 Baltimore. Now Wallace is up with McManus down at second. Bobby's 0 for 1, reached on an error first time up. And a 25-17. Now it'll be a ground ball down to Charlie. He fires over to first, but not until the Orioles score 1. It could have been worse. It's 1-0 Baltimore as we get to the top of the 5th. You got Greenberg, Gehringer, and Harvey due up here. Hank's 0 for 1, grounded out to the pitcher. And that's going to be a base on balls. So now the Tigers got the tie and run at first. Go ahead run at the plate. And Charlie Gehringer, he's 0 for 1, flew out the right. And 20 on a 9, and that's going to be an infield hit. So Charlie's aboard here. The first 2 batters is on base. We got first and second and nobody out here for the Tigers. They're making some noise here in the fifth. And up to the plate now stops Harvey Kuhn. Harvey is 0 for 1, grounded out to the mound his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Can they turn two is the question here. 62 on an 8. And no, they'll get the runner out at second. And that'll be it. Hank will get down to third. So we got first and third now with 1 out. And the Orioles will play back for the double play. Up by 1. I don't want to give up a big inning. Ray Boone's up. He's 0 for 1, grounded out the third. And that's a big swing and a miss. He strikes Boone out. Al's first strikeout was a big one. That brings up Johnny Blasser now. Can he come through with a 2-out RBI hit here? He flew out the center the first time up. And that ball is going to drop in the right field. Rice couldn't get to it. And that's going to score Greenberg. And Harvey's going to get down the third easily with 2 outs. So now we still have first and third. And this is a tie ball game. And can DAUSS help himself out, folks, and get them Tigers a 2-1 lead here. DAUSS grounded out the second his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Ken Williams. That'll end the inning. But the Tigers tie it up. It's now 1 apiece. We go to the bottom of the fifth. We got bottom part of the order due up here, Howell, and then back to the top. And Jacobson and Rice. And Harry is 0 for 1 today. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Boone for out number 1. Back to the top of the order we go. And Jacobson's up now. And Baby Doll is walked and grounded out the second. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. So with 1 out, Jacobson's aboard here. Go ahead, run it down at first for Harry Rice. And Rice is 0 for 1. He's reached on a fielder's choice and walked, so he's been on base 2 times. And that's going to be a 16 and an 8. That'll be a pop-up down the third base. Boone makes the play. We're out number 2. So it's up to George Sisler here to try to give the Orioles the lead back. And Sisler is 0 for 2. He's flown out the center twice. And this time, that's a ground ball back to DAUSS. He fires over to first. And that'll end the inning. And Orioles strand 1. We go to the top of the 6th. Top of the order due up here for the Orioles. Cobb, Hellman, and Greenberg. This game's tied up at 1 apiece. Cobb is 0 for 2, flew out and popped up. And that'll be a 20. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field, hit out to Jacobson. His counterpart makes the catch for out number 1. And Harry Hellman comes to the plate. Harry's 0 for 2, flew out the left and grounded out the second. And that'll be a base on ball, so the go-ahead runs down at first. Al Kaline, 1 swing of the bat, can untie this ball game. He's 0 for 2 today. Flew out the right and grounded out the first. And that's a deep fly ball to center field, but Jacobson's got room out there and makes the catch for out number 2. Can Hank Greenberg come through here with a hit, untie this game? He's 0 for 1, grounded out the first, walked and came around to score the only run for the Tigers. And that's going to be popped up on the infield. And Cliff makes the catch for out number 3. The Tigers strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still knotted up at 1 apiece. We got Williams, Cliff, and Farrell due up here. Ken's 0 for 1. Grounded out and walked. And that'll be a ground ball down the 2nd for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down for the Orioles. And now Harlan Cliff steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2, grounded out and popped up. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. Drives that ball down in the left field for a triple, folks. 1 out triple. And with Farrell up, they are going to bring the infield in here in the 6th inning, try to keep that run from scoring. Rick is 1 for 2. He's doubled and flew out the right. And that's a fly ball out the center field. It should be fielding column number 2. And it is. And we'll need another dice roll here. 53. That should be deep enough to get the runner in and untie this ball game. Yep. Cliff will score with no throw. So that sacrifice fly by Farrell makes it 2-1 Baltimore. And Marty steps up now with 2 outs and nobody on. And Marty is 1 for 2 with an RBI double and struck out his other time up. And that'll be a fly ball in the right field. That'll end the inning, but the Orioles score 1. Take a 2-1 lead as we go to the 7th inning. And we got Gehringer, Kuhn, and Boone due up here. Here's the pitch to Gehringer. And that's going to be a ground ball down the 2nd. Marty up with it, fires over to George. That'll be the first out of the inning. And Harvey steps up to the plate. Can he get on base here for the Tigers? He's grounded out and reached on a fielder's choice. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field for out number 2. It's up to Boone to keep this inning alive here. The Tigers trailing by 1 in the top of the 7th. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right. That'll end the top of the 7th. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It's 2-1 Baltimore. We have the bottom part of the order due up here for Baltimore. They like to see DAUSS make it through this 7th inning. He's due to bat 2nd. Wallace, Howe, and Jacobson up. Here's the pitch to Bobby. He's 0 for 2, reached on an air and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Over to first for out number 1. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Harry Howe. And Howe is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. And that'll be against a righty, make him a 20. And that'll be a fly ball out to center field. Cobb's got it. Takes a base hit away from Howe. Nice play by Cobb. Here comes Jacobson having a fine game here today. 1 for 2 with a walk. And his other time up, he's grounded out to 2nd. And that'll be a ground ball down the 3rd. And that'll end the inning. And the Orioles go down 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the 8th. Orioles leading by a score of 2-1. Blasser, a pitch hitter for DAUSS, and back to the top of the order. And Johnny is 1 for 2. He's got the lone RBI for the Tigers with a single. And that's going to be against a +1 makes him an 18. And that's going to be a nice play down at short by Wallace to rob him of a base hit. So Blaster gets robbed of a hit, and that'll be it for DAUSS. He's going to come off the bench here and pitch hit. Tigers trailing by 1. Corsick's going to come off the bench here, try to get on base and bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Tying run on base. 1 out and nobody on for Barney. This is his first official plate appearance. This is his 1940 season, batted .344, home runs, and 57 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. The Tigers will take it. They got the tying run down at first, the go-ahead run at the plate. And Ty Cobb at the plate. Can Cobb come through here? He's 0 for 3 today. Flown out the left and center and popped up the short. And he's going to come through here, folks. He squares this one up. And Barney's got good speed down there at first, but he's not going to have to run very far, maybe. Let's see, a -1 makes him an 18. And he's a G. That ball is high, that ball is far, and that ball is gone, folks. Ty Cobb with first home run of the year gives the Tigers a 3-2 lead here, folks, in the top of the 8th. Now shakes his head. Here comes Hellman up to the plate now. Hellman is 0 for 2. He is flown out, grounded out, and walked. And that's going to be a rare play, a 23 on a 40. And that'll be ball 1. The Hellman, here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. That'll be out number 2. Now K-Line steps to the plate now. K-Line is 0 for 3. Flew out the right, center, and grounded out the first. And that'll be another ground ball down to George at first. That'll end the inning. But Ty Cobb gives the Tigers a 3-2 lead with his first home run of the year. And he's going to come out here and try to close this game out for the Tigers. You got a lefty. So they got the lefties coming up. And the only lefty they got in the bullpen is Whitehill. So Whitehill is going to come out of the bullpen. Pitch to these lefties. And let's see if the Orioles will go to their bench here with Rice up. Yes. And they're going to bring in Johnny Tobin to come out the pitch hit, even though he's another lefty. Tobin's going to come off the bench. And this is Whitehill's third game. He's 0-1, pitched 2 1/3 inning with a 7.71 ERA. Jack Tobin to the plate, batting .554, folks, with a homer and 4 RBIs. He'll be followed by Sisler and Williams. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a single in the center field. Cobb can't get to it. Tobin's on base again, folks. Tobin with a leadoff single. So the tying run down at first. George Sisler's up now. And George is 0 for 3, flown out the center twice, grounded out to the mound. And that's a comebacker to the mound. And I don't have his rating in there, so give me a second here. Sorry about that. Did not put his fielding rating in. Did not put Earl's fielding rating in. Where's Whitehill at? There he is. Alrighty, that takes care of that. Now we go back to the game here. Okay. That was a ground ball back to the mound. He's a 1 on a 35. And that's going to be fielding column 3. And make sure I didn't forget anything else on this card. And I did. I messed this card all up. Sorry, folks. Should have looked at the whole card while I was in there. Don't know what I was doing when I got to his card. Check everything out real close here now, because I missed some other stuff on his card. He's a wide pitcher. And everything else looks good. It's the only 2 things I missed. And they both came into play this time. Okay. That should be it now. Now we should be ready. So that's going to be a swing and a miss. He's going to strike him out, folks, as soon as we return to the game here. That's a big strikeout. So he strikes Sisler out for the first out of the inning. Now there's 1 down. And will Williams stay in the game? That is the question. Ken is 0 for 2 today. And he is going to stay in the game to hit. So you got Tobin at first, 1 out. And Ken Williams is 0 for 2 with a walk today. Grounded out to second his other 2 times up. And he says, why was you even thinking about pitch hitting for me? He squares this one up, folks. And that ball is hit into the gap in right field. And again, K-Line's got one hell of an arm. So that'll be a... And Tobin's going to stop at third. He's not going to test K-Line's arm. He's already thrown 1 guy out this game. So now you got second and third and 1 out for Clift. And that might be it for Whitehill here. As now you got the righties coming up. Yep. So that's going to be it for Whitehill. He doesn't get the job done. See who they'll bring out here. Will they give Ed another shot here? And that's who they're going to do. They're going to bring in Ed again. Ed Wilton is going to come in here and try to close this game again. He got the loss in game number 1 of this series. Can he get the job done this time, folks? Second and third and 1 out. And Cliff to the plate. And again, for some reason, it likes putting Ed as a left fielder. Don't know why. Okay, we're going to have the infield in for the Tigers. 1 out. Cliffs is 1 for 3 with a triple. Grounded out and popped up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second with nope, that's going to be a pop-up down the second. Let's see here on a 1. That's going to be let's see here. The infield in on a 12, a 25. Safe at first. Runner's going to try to go home. And Charlie's going to throw that ball to the plate and going to nail him. So they get the runner going home. And now there's 2 outs. So that's the old 4-2. And now you got a runner at third. 2 outs for Rick Farrell. The Tigers obviously now play the infield back and hopefully get out of this mess with nobody scoring. Rick Farrell is 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. Sacrifice fly. Flew out to the left, right his other time up. And that's going to be a 38 and a pass ball PB2 or PB3. And he's not. So that's going to be a rare play. A 16 on a 38 with a runner on third. 16 on a 38. That'll be an 18. That'll ball will be hit down the third. Let's re-roll the dice. 43 on a 4. That'll be fielding column number 2. And that's going to be an error on Boone. And that's going to score the tying run, an E6, E5. And the batter's going to be out trying. And here we go with an error in the throw. So let me look this up now, folks. The batter's going to be out trying to get down the second. And now that you can actually do this, let me look up this command here. So, an error on the throw. So, that'll be an error. Runner at the plate. X1 and an assist to an assist. That would be a 9. Assist on a 9. Okay, here, let's see if this works for the first time. And it worked, folks. But the Orioles tie this game up on the air. We go to the top of the 9th. It is tied up at 3 apiece. And Howell is due to bat third in the 9th. Can he make it through this 9th inning? He'll have a short leash. He's got Greenberg, Gehringer, and Kuhn due up here. And we need a right fielder. Toblin will stay in the game. And I can say Jack will stay in the game here and play right field. These Orioles, man, they're pesky, but Boone sure did help them out. So you got Greenberg 0 for 2 today. Can he get on base? 8 against 21. That's going to be a fly ball in the right field. And of course, as soon as you put somebody in the game, the ball finds him for out number 1. Tobin makes the catch. Charlie at the plate here now. And Charlie's 1 for 3. Single, grounded out, and flown out. And that's going to be a rare play, a 24 on a 36. And that's going to be ball 1. So here's the 1-0 pitch to Charlie. Can he take advantage of it, folks? Nope, that's a ground ball down the second. And that'll be out number 2. So it's up to Harvey here to keep this top of the 9th going and try to get the winning run across the plate. He's 0 for, or go ahead and run across the plate. He's 0 for 3. That's going to be a ground ball down the short. And that'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th, tied up at 3 apiece. Got McManus, Wallace, and Howell, a pitch hitter for Howell, due up here. And Marty is 1 for 3 with a RBI double. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Boone's up with it. Fires over to first. He doesn't mess this one up. And that'll bring up Wallace now. And Bobby is 0 for 3. Reached on an error, grounded out the second and short. And that'll be a pop up down the second. And Charlie's got it for out number 2. Now we'll need a pitch hitter here for Hal. Pitched a heck of a game here. Unless they do something here in the bottom of the 9th, he'll get a no decision. And Mac McEwen going to come off the bench, the lefty. One swing and a bat could end this game, folks. See what George can do here. He is 0 for 1 on the year. Here's the pitch to George. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Hellman's got it for out number 3. We're going into extras to read all about it. He's going to come out here and pitch now for the Orioles. You got the righties due up here. Righty, a lefty, and then a pitch hitter for Ed. So will it be Kramer or Gray? It's going to be Kramer. It's going to come out of the bullpen. Jack Kramer. Can he keep us a tie ball game here, folks? And this is Kramer's second appearance of the year. He's pitched 1 inning, scoreless ball. He'll be facing Boone, Blasser, and a pitch hitter. Ray is 0 for 3, grounded out, struck out, and flown out. And that's going to be another fly ball. This one out the left field for out number 1. And it brings up Johnny Blasser now. Can Blasser do something here? He's 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Flew out and grounded out. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. The Tigers get the go-ahead run on. And we'll have a pitch hitter here for Ed. He's going to grab a bat here for the Tigers. And I think it's going to be Rudy. They're not going to worry about the right-left split. They want some pop-up there. So Rudy York's going to come off the bench. Try to give the Tigers the lead here. And Rudy is 0 for 1 on the season. Here's the pitch to York. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. 41 on a 5. That'll be fielding column 1. And that's going to be the old 3-6-3 double play, folks. Not what they wanted. York hits into a double play. That ends the inning. Now he's going to come out here and pitch for the Tigers. Got the top of the order in Jacobson, Tobin, and Sisler, and they're out of left-handed pitchers. So Frank Lowry is going to come out of the bullpen here, folks. And this is Frank's second appearance. He's pitched a third of a inning scoreless ball. Like I say, he's got the top of the order. Here's Baby Doll. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out for out number 1. Here comes Jim Tobin up now. John Tobin, rather. And he is 1 for 1 today. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And that'll be out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. Here's George Sisler up here now. Can he get something going with 2 outs? He's 0 for 4. He's flown out, grounded out, and struck out. And that's going to be another comebacker. And Frank Lowry was busy that inning, but gets the job done. We're going to the 11th inning. We got the top of the order due up here against Kramer, Cobb, Hellman, and K-Line. Cobb's 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer that gave the Tigers the lead. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field for out number 1. That brings up Hellman now. Can Harry get aboard here? Hellman is 0 for 3 on the day. And that's going to be against 15. That's going to be a fly ball in the right field for out number 2. That's up steps out K-Line. Can K-Line be the hero here today? He is 0 for 4. He has flown out the right, center, and grounded out the first twice. And that's going to be another fly ball. This one out the left. The Tigers go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 11th. We got Williams, Clift, and Farrell due up here. Ken's 1 for 3 with a double and a walk. Grounded out the second the other 2 times up, and he gets a hold of this one. Ken Williams squares this one up, folks, and that's a lead-off double. And he's in scoring position. That ball's hit out in the right field. Williams down at second, and nobody out for Clift. Clift's 1 for 4 with a triple. Grounded out and popped up, reached on a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch to Clift. And 16. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Can he keep the runner at second? And now you can, because that's a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Big strikeout there by Lowry. Old Frank gets the strikeout. Now there's 1 out, and Farrell's up. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. Sacrifice fly. He's doubled, reached on an air, and flew out the right. And that's going to be a base on balls. That does set up the double play. Might not be a bad pitch to do that. So now we got first and second. The double plays in order because Farrell's run means nothing. Marty's 1 for 4. He's got an RBI double. Struck out, flew out the right, and grounded out the third. And that's going to be against a 13. And that's going to be a single into left field. And they're going to be sending a runner, obviously, folks. So let's see here. There'll be a play at the plate. No, there won't be no play at the plate. Ken Williams is going to score easily, folks. And that is your ball game. And the Orioles win in extra innings 4-3. These Orioles are playing tough baseball. Let's take a look at the box score here. Never thought this. Never thought this. Getting timely hits. Off to a great start. They're 4-2. I'm sure this is about a walk-off. Yep. Tigers, 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. The Orioles, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Cobb with that big 2-run homer. Tigers were 1 for 4 of runners in scoring position, left 3 men on base. Ken Williams was the man, 2 for 4 with the all-important RBI there, folks. They didn't give it to him. He was 3 for 7 with runners in scoring possession, left 6 men on base. DAUSS goes 7 innings, gets a no decision, 4 hits, 2 runs, walked 3, and struck out 2. Whitehill comes in, blows it, gives up 2 hits and a 1 unearned run, and gets a strikeout in a third of an inning. Ed Wilt comes in, pitches an inning and 2/3, and Frank Lowry picks up his first loss, 1 1/3 innings, 2 hits, a run, and a walk, and struck out 2. Harry Howell goes 9 innings, gives up 3 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, struck out 1, gave up a homer. Kramer comes in, pitches 2 innings, gives up a hit, and gets the win, folks. Take a look at the standings now. Like I say, these Orioles are right there, man. They are 4-2, 1 game back of the Yankees. Cleveland and the White Sox are 2 games back. The Tigers and Red Sox 2.5, along with the Senators, and the A's are 3.5 games back. Simmons leading the league with a .571 average. Ruth with 5 homers and 11 RBIs. Of course, everybody leading the league with ERAs with 0. Jack with 2 wins. Page with 2 saves. Babe Ruth leading with the MVP vote, and Jack with the Cy Young. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. And on your way out of Baltimore, hit that like button and leave a comment. Till next time, you all have a great day and take